In this next video, I'm going to do a mashup, a mixed review of all of the multiplication properties of exponents. And I have 6 examples that I'm going to work through, and they are these 6 examples over here. So using all 3 properties sometimes at the same time. And our first question here is 4x squared to the third, and then times 6x to the fifth. So the first thing I'm going to do is distribute my power of my 3 to the product inside. So the 4 will get cubed, my x squared will get cubed. And since my x had a power already, a power of a power, you multiply here, your 2 and your 3. So let me write down the rest of my problem here and then we'll start simplifying. 4 to the third power on your calculator is 64. 2 times 3 is 6. And now I have a product of powers. So the operation is a multiply, just my multiply in the middle. Now 64 times 6, I want to put my numbers together, and then x to the 6 times x to the 5th. Well, if I multiply here, I'm going to get, with my calculator, 384. And now if I have 6 x's being multiplied times 5 more, I have an add, meaning my x will have a power of 11. Now in this example, I have a product, 2xy, and it is going to get multiplied by a product taken to a power. So 3x and both of that taken to the square. So 3 will get squared and my x will get squared. So my 2xy is really being multiplied by 9x squared. So kind of like what I did over here is I'm going to rearrange my terms now and put things that are alike next to one another, because really my operation going on here is all multiply. So 2 times 9, put those next to one another, x times my x squared, and then times y. 2 times 9 is 18. X, one of them, times 2 more. If I add my powers here, I get 3, and then 1y. In this example here, negative x squared, and then y to the third power, I'm going to use this negative as the number -1. So there's not really the 1 written there, but I'm going to use it as -1 to the third, and then my x squared to the third, my y to the third, and here's my multiply dot there. And now I'm going to square this term, so my 2 will get squared, my x will get squared, and my y cubed will get squared. So those 2 powers multiply together. -1 times -1 times -1. 3 negatives means I'm left with -1. My powers here, simplified, 2 times 3 would be 6 for my x. Then I have y cubed. And then 2 times 2 is 4. X squared, and y, my powers simplified here, would be 6. Now I'm going to put, kind of like I did here, rearranging of my terms, numbers times my numbers, similar letters together, and then my last simplification. So I have an x to the 6 here, and x squared here. Again, these are all being multiplied. So total, -4, x to the, now I add those 2 powers, so x to the 8th, and 3 plus 6, I add those together, means y to the 9th. Maybe you want to try and challenge yourself and pause the video and then come back and hit play and then check your work. Hey, welcome back. I'm so glad you tried these problems. Now let's see if you did them correctly. Here I'm going to distribute my power here of 2/3. And so I'm going to write down my x that has the power of 3. That's going to multiply by 2/3. And then times my y cubed. Well, 3 divided by 3 cancels out, so I'm really left with x squared times y to the third. And there's not really a whole lot I can do else with that, so I think actually that's just my final answer. We're done. For the next one, -4x cubed to the 5th, I want to distribute my 5 to every number and every letter in the term. So negative 4 will get multiplied 5 times. X cubed will get multiplied 5 times in a row. And then times 2x cubed. Well, negative 4, notice how you have that in parentheses. So what we want to do is type this out exactly like you see that on that calculator. So C parentheses, hit your parentheses, negative 4 parentheses, then to the 5th power. I know my answer is going to be a negative because my power of 5 is an odd number. If that 5 was instead a 6, let's say an even power, then it would be a positive answer. So negative 1024. My x to the 3 times 5 would simplify to be the 15th times 2 and then x cubed. So now I'm going to put my numbers together. Negative 1024 times 2 and then x to the 15th times 3 more x's total. So my negative 1024 times 2 is negative 2048. And my power here, 15 times 3 more x's, or a total of, if I add, 18. Here's our last one. I have negative a to the 1/2, and that's going to be multiplied 6 times. And I thought, I'm actually going to write this one out so you can see it. Just hopefully that will make this one a little bit easier. A to the negative 1/2, a to the negative 1/2, a to the, oh, I'm sorry, negative here. Oopsies. Let me get rid of that negative. Negative a to the 1/2, negative a to the 1/2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I need 2 more. Negative a to the 1/2, negative a to the 1/2. All right. If you have your base multiplied over and over and over, all you need to do is add your powers. So what I'm going to do here is start with just 2. Negative times negative is going to make a positive a, and 1/2 plus 1/2 is 1. I'll say that again. Negative times negative is a positive. 1/2 plus 1/2 is 1. Again, a negative times a negative is a positive. 1/2 plus 1/2 is 1. A times A, they're all positives, is a cubed. That's the first part right here. Just that's this part, a cubed times 3a to the 5th. And if I have 3 and a to the 3rd, a to the 5th, if I add my 3 plus my 5, I have 3a to the 8th.